Welcome back to Easy English Girl Talk. We're so glad you're here for some listening and speaking practice.
Hi, I'm Lia. I am Brazilian, and I am a certified gold medal Hall of Fame people pleaser. I once agreed to help someone move apartments on my birthday. My birthday, I carried boxes. I smiled the whole time. I cried a little in the elevator. And I'm Emma. I'm American. I'm Lia's best friend. And for the past 2 years, I've been watching her say yes to absolutely everything while slowly dying inside. That is extremely accurate. I said what I said. Hey everyone, you're watching Easy English Girl Talk. And today we're going to talk about something that is honestly life-changing. How to say no without feeling guilty. Oh, this one is big. It's huge. And before we dive in, hi, if you're new here, I'm so glad you found us. This channel is a little different from a regular English class. We're two real friends having real conversations. And while we talk, you're training your ear, absorbing natural vocabulary, and building your conversation skills without it ever feeling like studying. It's English learning disguised as a really good chat between friends. Exactly. So come hang out with us. Grab a coffee. Let's talk. Exactly. So come hang out with us. Grab a coffee. Let's talk. So I need to start with a confession. Oh no, not a bad one. Well, kind of. Emma, I am a recovering people pleaser. And I think a lot of people watching this are too. Okay, for people who aren't familiar with that term, what exactly is a people pleaser? A people pleaser is someone who always tries to make everyone happy, even when it costs them their own time, their energy, or their peace of mind. You say yes when you're exhausted. You say yes when you already have way too much going on. You say yes when every single part of you is screaming no. And why do people fall into that pattern? I think a lot of it comes from fear. Fear of disappointing someone, fear of looking selfish or rude. And honestly, in Brazilian culture, there's a lot of this. We are naturally very warm people. We love to help, we love to be generous, but sometimes that turns into never being able to say no without feeling terrible about it afterward. And that's definitely not just a Brazilian thing. I think so many people relate to this no matter where they're from. Totally. But it did take me a long time to learn that saying no is not rude. It's actually necessary for your health, for your relationships, for everything. Let's talk about what actually happens when you never say no. Because I think people underestimate the cost. Oh, the cost is very real. I used to say yes to everything. On the outside, I looked like this super helpful, available, reliable person. But on the inside, I was overwhelmed, exhausted, and honestly, resentful. Resentment is such an important word here because when you say yes, but you really mean no, you build this quiet anger toward the other person, even though they didn't do anything wrong. They just asked. Yes. And that's the unfair part. It's not even fair to them. If I say yes, but I'm secretly frustrated about it, I'm not being a good friend. I'm just pretending. And eventually it all catches up with you. You burn out. You start pulling back from people. You stop doing things you actually love because your schedule is full of things you agreed to out of guilt. Guilt. That word. That is the real enemy here, isn't it? It really is. And I think the big shift is realizing that saying no is not a rejection of a person. It's a boundary. And a boundary is not mean. It's just honest. And honest is kind. I love that. Honest is kind. That's going on a sticky note somewhere. So knowing all of this is great. But for someone who has spent their whole life saying yes, how do you actually start changing that? You start small. You treat saying no like a muscle. You don't go to the gym for the first time and try to lift the heaviest weight in the room. I mean, I might try, and then I'd injure myself immediately. Exactly. So you start with low stakes situations. Someone offers you a second cup of coffee you don't want. Say no. A coworker asks if you can take on one more thing and you genuinely can't. Say, I'm not able to take that on right now. And this was a revelation for me. I thought saying no was this huge event, like a confrontation. But when you practice it in small moments, it stops feeling so scary. And something really interesting happens. Most people take a no much better than you expect. You build this entire scenario in your head where they're going to be hurt or upset. And then you say no and they just go, oh, okay, no problem. That has happened to me so many times. I spend 3 days worried about how to say no to something. And then I finally say it, and the person is completely. The drama is almost always inside our heads. Almost always, not always. Like some people do react badly, but that's a them problem, not a you problem. Oh, the cost is very real. I used to say yes to everything. On the outside, I looked like this super helpful, available, reliable person, but on the inside, I was overwhelmed, exhausted, and honestly resentful. Okay, real quick. We're about to get into actual English phrases you can use to say no politely and confidently, and I really don't want you to miss those. So if you're not subscribed yet, please do it now. It's free. It takes 1 second, and it means we can keep making content like this for you. So if you're not subscribed yet, please do it now. It's free. It takes 1 second, and it means we can keep making content like this for you. We read every single comment, by the way. Everyone. We are very dedicated to our comment section. Very dedicated. So, phrases. Here we go. Oh, the cost is very real. I used to say yes to everything. On the outside, I looked like this super helpful, available, reliable person, but on the inside, I was overwhelmed, exhausted, and honestly resentful. This is the part I needed so badly when I was first learning English. Because in Portuguese, I have a whole set of ways to say no politely. But in English, I just froze. What would you do instead? I would either panic and say yes anyway, or I'd go completely silent and look kind of terrified. That tracks. Okay, so first phrase. Classic. I appreciate it, but I can't make it. This is perfect for social invitations. It's warm, it's appreciative, and it doesn't over-explain. And over-explaining is such a people-pleaser thing. You say no, and then you give like 10 reasons to justify yourself. And you don't owe anyone a 10-point essay. I can't make it is enough. Love that. What else? That doesn't work for me right now. Clean, direct, no drama, no explanation, no apology, just a fact. That one feels so confident. Not aggressive, but confident. I like it. Then there's, I'd love to help, but I'm a bit stretched right now. Great for when someone asks for your time or energy and you genuinely don't have it. Stretched. I love that word. Like you're a rubber band that can't stretch any further. Like, perfect image. And one more. For when you need a moment to think, let me check my schedule and get back to you. This buys you time. You don't have to answer on the spot. That one saved me so many times because sometimes I need 5 minutes to actually figure out if I want to do something before I commit to it. A pause is not a yes. Taking time to think is completely okay. Always. Okay, so we have the mindset, we have the phrases, but Emma, what do you do when you've already said no and you still feel guilty anyway? Oh, this is the real question. Because even when I know I made the right call, there's still this little voice. You let someone down. You were selfish. You should have just said yes. Here's something I really believe. Guilt after saying no is not evidence that you did something wrong. It's just a habit. Your brain learned to feel guilty as a way to avoid conflict and keep everyone comfortable. But guilt is not the same as wrongdoing. Wow, say that again. Guilt is not the same as wrongdoing. You can feel guilty and still have done the right thing. I needed to hear that at age 19. I needed it printed on my wall, on a t-shirt, on everything. And here's the other part. Every time you honor your own limits, you're teaching people how to treat you. You're saying, I am a person with needs, and I take those needs seriously. Good people will respect that. And the people who don't respect it, that tells you something really important about them. It really does. So guilt is not a stop sign. It's just a feeling you move through. Feel it. acknowledge it, and then let it go. So, Leah, what was your favorite moment from today's conversation? Go. Guilty is not the same as wrongdoing. I'm printing that on everything. My fridge, my mirror, my phone wallpaper, everything. And honestly, I needed that reminder too. I still struggle with this all the time. See? Even native speakers deal with this. This is not a language problem. This is a human problem. And that's exactly why it belongs on this show. Because we talk about real life here. Real feelings, real situations. And you're listening to all of it in natural flowing English. And that is what Easy English Girl Talk is all about. Two friends having honest conversations about life. And while you listen, you're building your English, you're listening, your vocabulary, your confidence in the language, without it ever feeling like a class. We want you to feel like you belong here, because you do. This community is yours as much as it is ours. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the moment. Hit that button. It's free. And it's the best way to make sure you never miss an episode. And leave us a comment. We want to know, what's the hardest situation for you to say no in? Work, family, friends? Tell us everything. We genuinely want to know. We are very nosy about your lives. Lovingly nosy. There's a difference. See you in the next episode. Bye, guys. Bye.